Welcome to Open Studio on Cape Town TV. I'm Tabitha, and today we're joined by Natasha Starkey, who's wanted to come onto the show to talk to us about school bullying. Natasha, would you like to take the floor?
Hi there everyone, my name is Natasha Starkey, and my daughter's been severely bullied on a few occasions at the school, and I just want to be her voice because she obviously can't speak for herself.
Natasha is not alone. She is joined by Vicky and Crystal Moses. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I wonder, before we get to you, Natasha, if we could perhaps find out a bit more about the work that you both do. Vicky, I don't know if you want to start.
Yeah, my name is Vicky. I run an organization called the Funda Sopila Foundation. We are an NPO. We are registered with the Department of Social Development. What we do, well, we run EduAssist awareness program at schools where for bullying and for abuse. We tend to see how we can integrate our program with the one the department is currently using. Now we do this in 3 steps. One, through an interactive story where a teacher tells a story in the class and the kids get involved with the character parts that's part of the story. The second part is through a board game that we call the Bully Boogie Challenge. Now the game actually helps a student where the board will either punish, discipline or reward a child without the teacher getting involved. The third part is by creating a 3B club. We believe the greater the club, the lesser the bullies. Now the 3B stands for the Bully Boogie Buddies Club. Thank you.
Wonderful. Crystal.
My name is Crystal Moses. I'm also from a non-profit organization called GAIN. We work with adolescent young people, high school going, and eventually with them into university, where we also deal with aspects of their self-esteem, morals, leadership, all those aspects that come, but bullying does come into it. And then we also run another project in partnership with 2 schools, Silver Stream Primary in Manenberg and Easter Peak. And we also partnered with the University of the Western Cape, where the 3rd-year social workers have come on board to do their field work. We work with the children, it's grade 1 to 5, where children are bullied, but they also face other circumstances as well that results in bullying taking place.
Thank
and
you.
we also register with the Department of Social Services as well.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you.
Natasha, how and why did your daughter come face to face with this school bullying?
Let me just say, Jordan, she's very talkative, very outspoken, very funny, jovial type of kid, and I didn't expect this to happen at the school. And with the first bullying incident, it was like a shock to me because I was like, Jordan's normally the jokey person, so what exactly happened? And to be attacked like that in class, continuously hit, and it just everything, her self-esteem has dropped. She doesn't even want to talk to me. When I ask her questions, she's angry. And I don't know, and that's why I'm here, because I want to get Jordan the help that she needs, you know, after both those incidents.
So it happened more than one on one occasion?
Twice, yes.
It happened twice.
The second time they actually hit her unconscious, and they kicked her while she was laying on the ground.
Terrible. I can't imagine what you are going through.
Yeah.
Crystal, I wonder if you couldn't explain to us what bullying actually is and what different kinds of bullying you get. I believe there are a couple of different kinds of bullying.
Okay, we're discussing bullying here in schools, but bullying takes place in life. In the corporate environment, they call it power and politics. In government, they call it politics because they are busy with politics. And bullying is a learned behavior. So in the school setting, it is where they say it's, for instance, provocation, where there's a repetition of the bullying, where there's an imbalance of power, and also where there's stress, and there's an intent to harm. And bullying, especially children, they don't look a child. If you're speaking in a primary school setting, you're speaking about a child that might fight with another child, and they classify it as bullying. Okay, sometimes if the child fights once, you can't call it bullying, but if it happens repeatedly to the same child, then it is bullying. High school is a bit of a different situation. Children will fight. Hear me out what I'm trying to say to you. But we are dealing with adolescents. And with an adolescent, they're going through all these hormonal changes. The testosterone, the estrogen levels are going, the body's changing, I want to look better than you, I want to be more popular than you, and that's all factors that contribute towards or leads up to people being bullied at schools.
So the bullying that happens in schools, which kind is more prevalent in schools? You also get the cyberbullying that I've heard of.
Yes, now okay, today children are born with a cell phone to the ears, okay, or in their hands, let's put it. So cyberbullying is a given, it's out there. It's actually a very dangerous bullying, and most parents are not aware of the negative impacts of cyberbullying. So cyberbullying is a given, but you have the other type of bullying where as I said, somebody, I look better than you, or I'm more popular than you, or for instance, the boys like me better than you. I'm just using hypothetically. And that could lead, I could be a nerd. I could be a quiet person at school, not bothering with anybody, and yet I get picked on. So it depends entirely. It's a different, it depends on the person.
Okay. Natasha, how long had this bullying been going on since you found out? Did you see any signs that your daughter was showing you? How did you actually find out?
Well, initially Jordan used to complain about, the small little nitty-gritty, and I used to tell her, you're all teenagers, you're going to argue about things, you're going to be silly, some people's going to understand you, some people's not going to understand you. And normally, if Jordan get teased, I always tell her, just if you don't like something, keep quiet, come tell mommy or report it to the school. And with the first incident, Jordan actually didn't tell me, the school didn't phone me. My eldest daughter that is a matric at the moment, she sent me a WhatsApp message and she said, Mommy, Jordan's nose is bleeding and she's been attacked. And I continuously phoned the school on that day and nobody could give me anything. I actually had to go to the school and ask them what's happening, and their response was, they're teenagers, they fight, and we'll work it out, and they need to apologize to one another.
So the school wasn't forthcoming in what had happened, what incident had taken place. You found out through
I found her through my daughter. The
Yeah.
secretary at the school, I phoned her 3 times and I said to her, please take down my details. I've got a new cell phone number. I'm a single mom. With my boss, I can't just leave. I have to ask for permission. So it needs to be, something really bad that I, need to leave. And but there was no sympathy towards me or Jordan. And when I went to the school the next day, I had to wait 2 hours to see somebody to speak to about it. And I eventually just took her to the doctor, police station, got a J88, and then for x-rays. And then we found out that she has swelling because of the bruising. And the teacher just said, it wasn't the teacher, the vice principal said to me, it looks like an abscess and not from the fight.
Amazing. Terrible. We're off to a quick ad break. Be back after these. Welcome back to Open Studio, and we're chatting about school bullying and how to cope with it as a parent. Vicky, I know that these victims of school bullying do not like to go to their teachers or to authorities to ask for help. They're too afraid to talk. What can they do in that situation?
See, first of all, I must compliment Natasha here for being a child's best friend. And I will always say this, that in any relationship, a parent should become the child's best friend. They should have an open relationship. Now, when they have an open relationship, what will happen is that the child will be able to tell the parent anything and everything. Like what Natasha mentioned as well, her daughter did come and approach her and tell her these things. Now, on the other side, when you look at a child, that's being bullied, 90% of them don't like telling anyone because of fear, or they could be threatened by the bully. But also what I've noticed is that the kids that are bullied will always want to blame themselves. They feel that they are the problem, which is not true. What we have done is that through our website, we have actually created a tab that's called checklist. We say to parents, listen, visit this website, have a look at this 20-point checklist. It's not an hard and fastened rule, but it'll actually give you a guide to see and monitor your child if it's the child is being bullied. But coming back to a parent, if you're a child's best friend, you will actually be able to pick up on a child's behavior when the child is down. There's something definitely wrong. And I think in most cases today that we tend to allow a child to actually fend things themselves. And I think that's the biggest problem that we have today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Natasha, could you give us an account of the physical injuries that your daughter sustained through her repetitive bullying?
With the first incident that happened on the 7th of August, Jordan has a nosebleed. So she had swelling in her nose, swelling in the neck area, swelling in her cheeks. So with the x-rays, it showed that it was because of the attack. Luckily for me, it was no fractures. She still gets a lot of headaches. She vomits. She always feels sick.
So how did this actually start happening? Did somebody just hit her from in her face or punch her, or how did it?
Well, initially in the class, Jordan and the boy in question, they were teasing each other. Jordan pulled out the chair out behind him, and obviously they thought it was funny. For me, it wasn't funny, and she poked him with a pencil. Then they left that, and the boy went to and speak to a friend of ours in the class. And Jordan got up and went to go ask him, now, what are you doing here now? And then, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but then he punched Jordan in the face, and Jordan fell down to the ground, and he continuously hit Jordan with his knee in her face.
And was the teacher present?
There was no teacher in class.
Wow. Okay. And how did you go about engaging and reporting this to the school? Did you go to the headmaster? Who did you go to? Did you phone? Did you go there?
I phoned the school, like I said, and I spoke to the secretary. The secretary never got back to me. I went and fetched Jordan at the school, and the school was closed already, so there was nobody available to speak to me. The next day I went to school. The principal wasn't available to speak to me, and then the vice principal spoke to me, Mr. Van der Hoorn, and I raised my concerns with Jordan, and I explained to him everything that happened or what she told me. So he said he'll do an investigation. Still no communication. They never phoned me back. After 2 days, I saw Jordan swelling, and I took her to the police station. I got the J88. I took her to the doctor, filled out the report, showed the doctor the video as well that was circulating on social media of Jordan.
So that went viral?
Yes, it went viral. And then I took her for x-rays, and then I knew that this wasn't just a normal fight, because some teenagers, they'll push each other.
Yes.
But this was actually a violent fight against her. And she told me, she said, Mommy, all that I needed from the school was to at least give him off for a few days, like suspend him for a few days. But I still had to go to school every day. I still had to see this boy in class. And they never took my feelings into consideration. So I actually kept Jordan out of school for a few days so that she wouldn't have to see him. And obviously there's a lot of children in the school that also have their opinions, so they would come for her and say, but you have a big mouth, so you deserve it, and stuff like that, which is also not right. And the school didn't call in those pupils, neither the boy that took the video, and they laughed in the video. They said in the video, a girl is bleeding, and they were laughing. So it was like a funny matter.
Yeah, not taken seriously at all. So the support from the school is non-existent as far as you're concerned?
Completely non-existent.
Vicky, what resources do parents have to deal with, or have at their hands to deal with school bullying?
See, when it comes to bullying like this, I will always advise a parent to go to school immediately, and to see whether the incident was really reported. In some cases, obviously, these incidents are not reported. You have a right to actually ask the principal or whoever is in charge about what happened. Let's just say that you have a problem there and you've noticed that you're not getting much joy. Now, the Department of Education has, rules and ways that you could actually deal with this. Now, one of it that if you're not having any joy from the school, like what Natasha mentioned, is that the next step you need to do is go to the district office and look for the second manager. You approach the second manager and ask him those questions and let him tell you whether this incident, like we heard now, this is a serious issue. It should have actually been escalated to him or her, and he should actually, look into it. If Natasha has no joy there, she can call for the senior manager of that department and actually speak to him. Now, coming back to the reporting it to the SAPS and so forth, I think a lot of us are a little confused, and I think it's not very clear. When you actually go to an SAPS charge office to make a complaint, Usually we just go to the front desk and we report it. Now, most of the police stations have a victim-friendly center. You need to ask them for a victim-friendly center. What you do is that in those centers, you have officers who are trained to handle issues like this. Now, what they would do is that they'll have an interview with the victim, they will try to establish what has happened and so forth. Let's just say they do not have the resources. They always are linked with someone on the outside to handle this. Now, also I want to say this, when it comes to the Western Cape Department of Education, there's two gentlemen that I've been working with for some time, and that's Mr. Oscar Paulus and Mr. Sheikh, and now they head the Safe School in Western Cape. And they also have a team of dedicated coordinators. Now, saying that, obviously there's a lot that they need to do. I've seen the program, I've been working with them now for the past 3 years. And now, I want to say this, there's only so much they could do. We have to go back and say, listen, parents, how could you assist them to make these things possible? Yeah. If you look at what the Western Cape Department does, you'll always find there's a lot of activities going around safe schools. But again, it also boils down, where are the parents today? What are they doing to help? Obviously, they are giving you, the help there. We need to take it and run with it. And in a lot of cases, we have a problem where our parents, or the parents of today, want the kids to deal with things themselves. But in Natasha's case here, it's nice to find a parent who is trying to.
Sorry, I'm going to break there. We'll be back after these. Welcome back to Open Studio. I'm Tabitha, and we are joined by Natasha, courageous mom, who's been dealing with school bullying. Natasha, the emotional effects on you must be terrible. How are you dealing with them?
Actually, I feel like my hands are tied. I feel like there was no way out for me. I kept on speaking to people, sending emails, basically knocking door to door, and that's the reason why I posted what I did on Facebook, and I thought to myself, maybe social media can help me. Maybe somebody out there can give me a phone number that I can call to find out what I can do, not only for Jordan, but for the other children that's on the school that's also being bullied. And I can see that the school their hands are also tied because they don't have enough teachers at the school. They don't have enough resources to help these kids, and we will lose our kids if somebody don't do anything about it. So I did it on social media, and I'm getting the help that I need. I'm an extremely emotional person, so for me it's a bit hard to speak about Jordan. So I just wanted to get the help that she needs, and I wanted to stop being so angry, because when I ask and I talk to her about things, then she's just like, Mommy, not now, I'm busy, but she's not busy with anything. So I feel like I've lost my daughter a little bit, and I feel that maybe after this, somebody can reach out to me, to her, maybe help her, and just get my daughter back to where she needs to be.
Do you feel that this has perhaps affected her in a long-term way?
I feel that it did, yes.
Can we expand on that, Crystal?
Firstly, I just want to go back. There's compound bullying taking place.
Right.
One is the boy bullied her and beat her up. Secondly, the other children are bullying her now. Yeah. So what is that doing to her psyche? She already is trying to avoid the boy, and now she's got everybody else ganged up against her. So the fact that she's still going to school, I think she's a very courageous young lady.
Yes.
That's one point. The other side is also at the end of the day, she has had a physical battering, and she has a mental battling, and she has a psychological battering that's taking place. This whole incident has happened to her. Because for number one, there's not one boy she needs to look at. She felt the injury to her body physically, emotionally, and mentally. She needs counseling, and she doesn't need a once-off counseling. She needs somebody to be gentle with her, to tell her it's okay. It's okay. In life, we do get our dips and our ditches as we go along the path.
Yes.
And she needs to understand that things like this shouldn't be happening, but it does happen in our society, which is unacceptable in our society. She needs to. The other point that you mentioned, you're losing your daughter. It could be partly due to this, but keep in mind she's in adolescence. She's at the start of the adolescent phase. Moms ain't cool. Dads ain't cool being as a parent, okay? So don't be hard on yourself, because she may look and say, I don't want to come to good, and people might think I'm just going to my mommy all the time. So you just be patient with her, create the space for her. Whenever she's ready, don't also be in her face. Try, you know your daughter best. Try and find that space when you can move in and say, let's just have a girly talk. Not a bully talk, a girly talk. And through that, you discuss other things, and the bully things, she will start releasing what she's feeling.
Right. Vicky, do you want to add briefly to that?
Yeah, you know, when you look at what transpired here as well, it's a difficult situation. I want to say this, bullying leaves scars permanently. No one can tell you that the scars will go away. When someone else is being bullied, if it's not Natasha's daughter and she witnessed someone being bullied, everything that she went through will come back. That's the one thing that we have to live with. But the more they talk about it, like Crystal mentioned, the better it becomes. It will not disappear, but it will help. You know, coming back to this whole situation for Natasha as well, you know, if you keep these things bottled up, if Natasha keeps this thing bottled up, it's going to come to a stage where she will be coming to a breaking point. And I always say that your words will become into actions. So in other words, you'll come to a stage where you've got no more words and actions takes place, and therefore you'll notice all the other types of bullying comes in. So the easier way for Natasha is to find people that went through the same sort of situation and speak it up. If you're involved in any religious institution, speak to the head there, let them guide you. And I'm sure it'll actually come, you know, make it much easier on her as well.
Tell me, what about counselling for the parents as such?
Yes.
Because they have to go through this ordeal as much as the child. And I'm sure, Natasha, you know, you've probably been in a position where you need to speak to somebody, you need to get through this. Vicky, what can we do in that instance?
You know, Natasha needs to see around her. Obviously, she might have people around her, a friend, a close friend, who she can actually open up to. You know, when you go through certain things like this, you must remember everyone is not your friend. So Natasha needs to look at people like that she could speak to, that she can tell them what she's going through. And also, if you look back, you might find someone out there that went through a similar problem that you went through. Ask them how they dealt with it. Don't try to deal with it yourself.
Absolutely. Crystal?
I would echo the same as Vicky said, having support groups, having people that you can speak to and tell them exactly what you're feeling. And even, I want to say to you this, Natasha, even if you have a good cry, there's nothing wrong with it. It's the best way of letting go of this pain that you're feeling inside, because that can only ripple off to you becoming ill or something like that. And as you said, you're a single parent, you need to be in your job every day. So have a good cry, let your friends also cry, organize an event with your friends and say, let's have a crying day, and you just let go, release with regard to that. But you do need a support group, people to be there for you, to give you the necessary support through these times. And especially, Jordan, you need to hold a hand, but don't squeeze a hand. Okay?
Natasha, one thing that you've taken out from this incident, what would you say that is?
I would say that I've learned that there is people out there that do care, and that is giving us the help that we need. And with all of this, with a campaign, we're doing a campaign against bullying. Your child is my child. So we want to help out other parents out there to get something positive out of all of this.
Fantastic. Just to end off, Vicky and Crystal, if you could perhaps give us your contact details in case there's anybody out there in need.
Yeah, you can contact me on Funda's Opela Foundation. We have a website that's called www.bullyboogie.co.za. My contact details is 082-909-7869. Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal.
Okay, we got www.gaein.com, and you can email me on admin@gain.com.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Unfortunately, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you to our guests for being here. Thank you to the viewers for watching. I'm Tabitha. Till next time on Open Studio, it's goodbye from me.